Hello, grandchildren, Lincoln, Claire, and Margot. I have a new story for you today. The story is called Clifford, Puppy Days. Now, I know that Grandpa Jim has read you many Clifford stories, and you all love those stories about Clifford, the big red dog. But let's take a look at when Clifford was a puppy. Are you ready? Because I am. Clifford's Puppy Days. I'm going to move over a little bit here so you can see the book while I read it to you. Hi, we are Clifford and Emily Elizabeth. Clifford is my dog. He's pretty big. Well, we know that, don't we? He is a big dog. Clifford wasn't always so big. Let me move in here a little bit so you can see me while I read to you. When he was a puppy, he was very, very small. I had to be careful when I played with him. Look at that little tiny puppy. Can you believe how big Clifford's going to get? He was too small to fetch a ball. Look at him. Isn't he just darling? Poor little Clifford. He wanted to play with my toys. They were too big. Can you imagine that? Because you know how big Clifford is now. But he liked the merry-go-round I made for him. Now, you probably don't know what that is, but that's a phonograph player. And your grandma and grandpa had those when we were teenagers, and we listened to all the popular music. We still have one of those tucked away in our storage, and maybe when you come to visit next time, we can show it to you. On cold winter days, Clifford found snugly warm places to sleep. Where is Clifford sleeping? Do you see him? Let's look over here. Where is Clifford sleeping? Oh my goodness. I think he is right there inside of the cap. Can you imagine putting a cap on and having a puppy or a kitten on top of your head? What would you think? What would that feel like? What would you say? I would say, eek! What the heck is this? Like my cap. And there she is. What is Emily Elizabeth doing? Yes, you're right. She is laughing because there's Clifford, the little red dog, inside her cap. We put a clock by his bed at night. The ticking seemed to lull him to sleep. And maybe you didn't know that, but ticking clocks are a good way to help a new pet go to sleep. They miss their mother's heartbeat, and it reminds them of Mama's heartbeat. And you know how much you like to be held by your mama in the middle of the night, or your daddy. Once I forgot to turn off the alarm. Ding, 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 ding. What does the alarm sound like at your house when it's time to get up? At first, I gave Clifford baths in our bathtub. Look how tiny he is. There would be room for both you and him in the bathtub, wouldn't there? He slipped off the soap one day, and I almost lost him. Kerplunk. After that, I bathed him in a soup bowl. I can't imagine Clifford ever being that tiny, can you? Daddy was surprised when I told him what I had used for Clifford's bathtub. I'm eating soup out of a bathtub. Ah! It was fun having such a small puppy. But Clifford was easy to lose. One day my aunt came to visit. Oh no, I wonder what happened. When she left, we looked all over for our small puppy. Clifford, Clifford, where are you, Clifford? Come home, Clifford. My aunt found him in the bake shop. Oh, look at that. He's at the bakery and he's jumping in to get a donut. I like donuts. Clifford was scared. He plopped into the cream puffs. Well, cream puffs are a little bit fancier than donuts. Then he ran through the pies. Oh my gosh. The baker tried to catch him, but Clifford was up on top the wedding cake. Do you think that's Uncle Andy and Aunt Jenna's wedding cake? Do you think they'll have a Clifford on top of their wedding cake? Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Oh, maybe we'll have to suggest that to them. And landed in the whipped cream. The baker was a little upset. Well, I can just imagine the mess that Clifford made in the bakery. What a mess. My aunt didn't know what to do. She didn't want to bring Clifford home looking like that, all full of cream puffs and frostings and things like that. A small boy with a big dog had an idea. He said his dog loved whipped cream. What do you think that big dog is going to do? Yes, you are very correct. In no time, Clifford was all cleaned up. That big dog just lapped up all that whipped cream and all that frosting because Clifford is still very little. I was so happy to have Clifford home again. There we go. The dog who brought him to me was the biggest dog I have ever seen. Look how tiny Clifford is. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a puppy like that? I'm thinking Grandma Sue needs a puppy. Can you help me convince Grandpa Jim that Grandma Sue needs a puppy? What could you do to help me? I really need a puppy. Until Clifford grew up. Oh my goodness. There's Clifford, the big red dog, just as Grandpa Jim reads all the stories about him. And that is the end of that, Clifford's puppy days. I hope you enjoyed that story. I'm thinking you are right here in my heart while I'm reading. So you can always go back and forth and listen to parts of the story. And you can know that I love you higher, deeper, longer, more than skidamarinky-dinky-dink. I love you, I do. Next story coming up soon.